Hey guys, it's Dr. Storm Shannon here at stormshannon.com. In this video, I wanted to go over a sequence of exercises designed to unlock your hips, specifically targeting those hip flexors and freeing those up. So instead of just doing a very simple hip flexor stretch, this is kind of the next step. Is we include stretches, mobility exercises, muscle activations all in one to target and loosen and free those hip flexors. So we're going to start with just some leg swings, just to start getting some mobility going. So if you need to, you can always put some pressure onto the wall to help balance. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to swing my leg forward and backwards. Now one of the big keys is when it comes back, I don't want to just hyperextend my spine, right? I'm trying to just get hip extension, not spine extension. So I want to keep my abs tight while I'm doing those swings, going back and forth. I'm going to do about 10 swings. We'll do that, if the prescription calls for it on both sides. If you're doing one side, just do the one side, right? So we've got forward and back. Next, we've got side to side. So from here, I'm bringing it across and then out. Same thing, 10 repetitions each leg, right? To loosen it up that way. The third leg swing is at an angle. So for this one, as I come forward, I'm coming in. As I go back, I'm going out. So it's more kind of at this angle coming through. Alright. Same thing, 10 repetitions of that one as well. So that starts to get things loosened up, opening those hips up that way. So we did that with some active motion moving. Now we're going to get into some of those stretches. So we've got the traditional hip flexor stretch, one knee down, one knee up, keeping the abs tight, glutes tight. We're going to push forward till we feel that stretch. Could take, excuse me, take a couple deep breaths. Back off. And we're going to do that, 4 or 5 times. Same thing on the other side. Now the key is when I get to that stretch, I don't want to push and create tons of tension into that muscle. Muscles are designed, the more tension you put on them, the more they fight that tension. So we just want to put a little bit of tension into it, take the deep breaths, relax, do that for that 4 or 5 repetitions. Okay, so that's the first stretch, the traditional psoas stretch. The next one is the good traditional quad stretch. So just pulling the foot up. With this one though, one of the things that will help, so as we pull back, we want to make sure we're not leaning forward. So we want to keep that up. So if you raise the opposite arm, it'll kind of keep your posture while you're holding this and get that stretch in the front of the quad. So same thing, take a couple deep breaths, relax, do that 4 or 5 times on each leg with that one as well. The next one is more of a fascial stretch. And I don't have a good place to show it, so I'm going to do it against the wall. But you ideally want something like the bed or the back of the couch to bring your foot and sit it up on top of that. And then I'm going to grab it with my opposite hand, up on there as well. I'm going to raise that opposite arm, and then I'm going to lean. And with that lean, I should feel it pull all the way down this side. This is a fascial stretch to open up the thin fascia that connects the muscles. So we're going to hold that, same thing, couple deep breaths, relax, 4 or 5 reps, both sides with that one as well. So we've had the active, we've had the stretches, we've had the fascial stretch. We're going to do another stretch now to open the hips up, and then we're going to do a couple activations. So the last little fascial stretch position is actually from all fours, and we're going to do a couple of them from here. So down on all fours. From here, first what we're doing is we're shifting our hips just side to side, right? Then we're going to go more at an angle. Let's see if this shows up on camera. But I'm kind of rotating and dropping my hip forward and then doing the same on the other side. So I'll show it at a different angle. So the side to side is just back and forth. This one is more of a rotation. And we're just shifting back and forth. 10 reps each side to open that up. So we've got those two. And then finally, we've got some activations. For the activations, real simple stuff. We're going to do a plank side plank combination, and we're going to do a glute bridge position. So the plank side plank, you're just starting in a regular plank. Go take a deep breath, and as you blow out, we're going to switch to a side plank. Deep breath. As you exhale, back to the plank. Breath, exhale, back to the other side. We're going to do that for 3 to 5 reps of each one. So after that, we're going to do a glute bridge position. So laying on the back, tightening the abs, bridging the hips up. From here, we're going to straighten the leg. Hold, deep breath out, deep breath out, and we're going back and forth, trying to keep those hips up the whole time for 5 repetitions of that. So that's the activations. Oh, we're going to add a last one. I forgot this one. So one more activation, because the hip flexor is an external rotator. So we're also going to activate the internal rotators to loosen it as well. So I'm going to turn so you can see the wall. So let's see how I want to do this. Do it this way. So with this one, what I'm doing is my knee is as close to the wall as I need it to where I can touch my foot, getting some external rotation of my hip. So if you can see that, or that internal rotation, sorry, of my hip. So that's the position I want to be in. From there, I'm just lightly pushing into the wall, holding for 5 seconds and relaxing, or 1 deep breath, right? And I'm going to do that 5 times as well. And that's the last activation that we're going to do to kick in all of those muscles that start to unlock those hips, unlock that hip flexor, free all of that up. So try that out, see how it works for you.